Okay, let me try again. I keep trying to figure this out. Seems what happens is I start a stream and it goes well for like the first couple minutes, and then it stops fucking working, which really pisses me off. All right, let me see. Let me put out another text or a post so people can call in. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, guests, invite guest. HTTPS. Okay. Okay. JW2 EWZNMG. Okay. Hold yeah, hey Doghouse, what's up? I see you, man. Give me 1 second. I gotta try to write a comment, post a comment, and put the link in. HTTP colon. Oh no, wait. HTTPS. Okay, now colon backslash StreamYard.com backslash QG and then G baby TH baby KW baby 7B baby V3 baby. There we go. Let's see how that works. Yeah. All right. Let me post another comment. Trying to get people to call in. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. Who do we got here? We got Doghouse. Doghouse is in. What's up, Doghouse? Doghouse, I forgot. Where are you from, man? Are you from the States? You from another country? Where are you from, partner? And then we got Fabian Farina. Is that what we got here? Fabian Farina. What's up, Fabian? Good to see you. Good to have you. All right. I just had a call-in stream a couple minutes ago, but it really went to crap. I don't know. I don't know what to blame. I'm thinking it's like my computer or my phone. I'm calling from my cellular device. All right. What do we got here? So, I don't know what to talk about. I was hoping to get a couple boys in here, have a stream, see what you guys are up to. All right. Let me see. Yeah. Always is better a PC. Yeah, probably is better. Fabian says, always is better a PC. I imagine that's his way of saying it's always better to use a computer. Yeah, well, you know, I do have a computer. Maybe I should do that. That's interesting. I might have to try that. Huh. That's interesting. Anyway, so what's up, Fabian? What are you doing? StreamYard not working, says the Doghouse. Yeah, I don't know. StreamYard not working. Can you guys hear me? Fabian, can you hear me? And you, the Doghouse, can you hear me as well? If you can, please feel free to write a text message or a post. Let me know. All right. Anyway, so I wanted to I wanted to share a story with you guys. It's another Mgtow moment. A couple days ago, I went to the gym and I ran into a friend. Hold on a second. Let me see. Yeah, on YouTube, but nothing on SY. Okay. I don't know what that means. Please, I don't know. Please, please try to write in full sentences so I can understand. Anyway, yeah. So I had a Mgtow moment a couple days ago. This was not yesterday. I think it was the day before yesterday. I went to the gym and I'm like splashing around in the pool, and I run into an old friend, and sort of a double entendre. This guy is an old friend. I've known him for years, and also, and he's kind of old. He's probably probably in his 60s at this point. Um, anyway, so I could tell he had a long face, and I start talking to him, and I say, "Jose, what's going on, man?" And he tried to play it off. He tried to be like, "Oh yeah, no, nothing. I'm fine." But I could tell he was not fine. So I inquired, and I said to him, "Come on, man, I can tell you're in a bad mood. What's going on?" And sure enough, he starts talking to me, and he's like, "Yeah, this sucks, and oh, my wife, and oh man, my daughter, and they're giving me shit, and I don't know what to do, and it seems like over the last couple of years we've been like fighting more and more." And it got to the point where he's telling me, he's his wife doesn't have respect for him anymore, and his daughter doesn't show him any respect. And he quipped, kind of jokingly, but I know he's serious. So his name is Jose, but he's from the Philippines. And he's like, yeah, back in the Philippines, if a woman gave you too much stress, if a woman was bitching at you too much, you just slap her, but you can't do anything here. And because you can't do anything, these women, they figure that out, and eventually it gets to the point where the women don't have any respect for you. Or he was basically saying it's gotten to the point where his daughter and his wife openly show disrespect to him, and he finds that very frustrating. And again, for all the same points, he's traditional like me, and he came over from the Philippines, and he's lived in Chicago for almost 40 years, and he's conservative, and he doesn't like how his daughter is now openly showing him disrespect. But there's nothing he can do. What is he going to do? He puts his hands on his wife, or he puts his hands on his daughter, it's going to be him who goes to jail. Even though, again, who pays the bills? He pays the bills. Who bought that house? He bought the house. He owns a house in Chicago, and it's kind of a nice house. It's a nice house. It's a very, very decent house, but it's in a really good area. So it's kind of a nice house. It's got a good situation. But unfortunately, he's going through the same shit that like all us MGTOWs go through. He's going through the same shit. And I try to talk to him, I try to drop red pills. I try to tell him, yeah, feminism. I talk to him about feminism. I talk to him about how, sometimes you can try the best. You could try your best. You could put your best foot forward, but it's still not going to work, because at the end of the day, these women can just run wild, and now they know it. He he has repeatedly, just a couple of days ago, he invited me to the Four Winds Casino here in Chicago. Apparently, there was some fight. There was some fight. I don't know who it was. Was it he's from the Philippines? You guys know of a popular fight that just occurred? What's the name of that real famous Filipino fighter? I can't remember his name, but apparently he just fought like a week ago. Um, oh, I forget. And I remember hearing the guy. He was real famous. I used to remember his name, and he recently got into like politics. So he's like a boxer, and then I guess he's decided. Yeah, that's him. Oh, I see Lord Hybrid. Pacquiao. Yeah, Pacquiao. Yeah. Basically, he's a nice guy. I like him, but he's like this short little. He's this short little Filipino guy, and he's always trying to hook me up with his daughter. So I'm 37. I think his daughter's 29. His son is 32. His son is stationed in San Diego. He's in, I don't know what branch of the military he's in, but yeah, I just saw him. And again, like he's talking to me. He's just like, damn, I don't get no respect. My wife treats me like shit. My daughter treats me like shit. There's nothing I can do, you know? And I try to talk to him. Not that it matters. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to tell him about Mgtow? It's too late for him, This guy's in his 60s. I think he's like in his early 60s. Mgtow ain't going to do nothing for him. There's no way he's going to leave his wife. But the problem is what he doesn't know. What he doesn't know is that his wife is actually more likely to divorce him than he is to divorce his wife. So I don't know. At this point, I just see it everywhere. Here's another Mgtow moment. Here's another Mgtow story. There's a guy who is a kid, I guess. He's 23 now, 24. There's this young guy I know. He lives in my apartment complex. We sort of became friends, and we've hung out a whole bunch of times. I've taken him to a restaurant. Him and I actually went hunting. I shouldn't call it hunting, but we basically went like squirrel hunting. It was supposed to be squirrel hunting, but then it turned into skunk hunting. There's actually a lot of skunks around here. There's a lot of skunks just outside Chicago. I don't know what it is. But yeah, we started hanging out. We became fast friends. And then he started having all these problems with his mom, with the girl in his life. His name is Brandon. And Brandon's mom called the cops on him. And it got at one point there were like 3 or 4 cops outside his door. They're knocking on his door. I don't know, performing like a safety check or something like that. It turned into this big thing. His mom was there, and he answers or whatever. But the point is, like, I think he and his mom were arguing, and then it's such a disconnect. And I'm trying to explain to him, just because. I'm trying to explain to him how dysfunctional this is. Just because you and your mom get into an argument or some sort of verbal altercation, disagreement, whatever, that doesn't mean that you should call the cops. And he's I don't know, he's like apologetic. He's apologetic for women. He's like, oh yeah, but I don't know, she was probably just, upset or whatever. And sure enough, I mean, whatever. I'm sure he loves his mom, but it's just the same sad story. He's from a broken ass home. He never met his father. Actually, he did meet his father. He's met his father like 2 or 3 times, which is fucked up. But and then he told me another story, true story. His girlfriend Kina. He's got a girlfriend Kina, and I tell him to be careful around her. And whatever, they've been dating on and off, or kind of seeing each other. I don't know what's going on and off for like a year. And all right, here's what happened. It was just another day, right? And I come home from work, and guess what I see? I see police. I see police outside his apartment door, and they're talking to him. And I text him, and I'm like, police speak to you today, man? And he texts me back. Almost right away. He's like, yeah, man, my girlfriend Kina fucking went crazy, and she busted up my apartment. She ended up like taking I don't know, like he's got swords and shit in his apartment. I don't know what she did, but she destroyed a whole bunch of shit. She destroyed his gaming console. She destroyed his TV. She kind of destroyed a lot of things, but the two things that are like broken for sure, like big ticket items, were I don't know. He had some, I don't know, PlayStation 4 or something, or he had a PlayStation, I think, and he had a big like 60-inch TV, and she broke the shit. Right? She smashed the fucking TV, and you know, I was trying to tell him, you shouldn't be dating this girl. This girl's always going off crazy on you. You're gonna get locked up. And we ended up meeting up later that day, and he was explaining to me what happened. And he specifically mentioned, he said, yeah, I was talking to the police, and the police explained to me that she had left. So basically, like the two of them were together. There was some sort of altercation, a verbal altercation that turned into a physical altercation. She went ham on his like video game system and his TV, and then she stormed off. But what the police had explained to him is that had she still been there, he would have gotten arrested. And they told him that. They specifically said, it's a good thing that she left, because if we came here and she was still here, we would have to arrest you. And he was just like, what, for real? And I just remember telling him that, like, yeah, bro, yeah, it's called the Duluth model of domestic violence. You'll get locked up. It doesn't even matter if you didn't do anything. So I don't know, just another freaking crazy situation. Anyway, yeah, if you guys want to call in, I would totally welcome a guest. I tried to write it in the beginning. I don't know if I did. Yeah, I see it. All right, I'm going to go down the list here. All right, so to start, we've got Doghouse. What's up, Doghouse? We got Fabian Farina. What's up, Fabian? Let's see. Fabian telling me to use a computer. Yeah, I should probably do that eventually. StreamYard not working. Okay. Fabian telling me loud and clear. Good. If you guys hear me loud and clear, let me know. StreamYard. Fabian Farina says, I was watching TVOR. That's the Voice of Reason. I haven't seen anything from the Voice of Reason recently. Have you guys? I thought what he did is like he made like one last video where he was saying he is leaving and he's going to another site. I don't know what happened with that, but yeah, I used to watch all his content. I like that guy. Fabian, YouTube means YouTube and SY means StreamYard. Yes. Fabian writes, and you think it's different in Latin America? Just for yelling at your girlfriend, wife, concubine, you go straight to the depths of hell. Yeah, I don't know what you mean when you say the depths of hell. I hope you don't mean I hope you don't mean jail. But yeah, it's getting pretty bad. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of something called coercive control. Let me tell you all about it. So I think this started in Great Britain, but I know it's moved over to Canada, and I could imagine in the future it's going to come here. So there's this set of laws that they want to include under domestic violence, and they're called coercive control laws. Coercive control laws are laws that say that any number of activities or behaviors that men engage in that can be perceived as being done to control the girlfriend or the wife are illegal, and they should now be considered a form of domestic violence. And again, it's called coercive control. And there's a couple of examples. Fabian writes right here, just for yelling at your girlfriend. That's one of them. Under these new statutes, these coercive control laws, I believe it's illegal. now in Great Britain, and I think also I think again I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure this is coming to Canada. These coercive control laws, where if you raise your voice, like if you literally if even if she yells at you, if the woman yells at the man and you yell back, that's technically considered against the law, and you can go to jail. And I just find it amazing. Like, wait, how come we don't apply these coercive control laws to women? And again, it's the same thing. It's the same reason because according to patriarchy theory, right? Because this all goes back to what? Like, it all goes back to like patriarchy theory, and patriarchy theory all goes back to like critical theory, and critical theory all goes back to what is it? The Frankfurt School. When you research all this, what you find is all these laws that are being put in place, none of them are scientifically backed. There's no actual scientific evidence to show that men are abusers and that women are always victims. But they just make up these laws and then they frickin' throw you in jail. And then I'll give you one more example of coercive control laws. If you have a credit card, let's say you have a credit card and the credit card is in your name, it's your credit card, and your girlfriend comes up to you and says, "Oh, baby, can I um, can I spend $100 on your credit card this month?" And for whatever reason, you say yeah. Well, she can at that point she can say that she wants to use your credit card again next month. And if you say no, she can actually call the police and she can make a case out of that. And she can say, he let me use his credit card, but now he won't let me use the credit card anymore. And you know why he's doing it? He's doing it to control me. And so this is coercive. And again, because because it's your credit card, you think that she can't do that, but you know what? She can do that. She can do it, and there've already been cases that they'll do it, and you'll go to jail. Does that make any sense to you guys? And for that matter, shouldn't a man be able to punish his wife if the wife is out of control with her spending? I don't understand that, and it totally pisses me off. But again, we're at a point now where the culture war is totally lost. Increasingly, they're passing laws against men. There's nothing we can do. I mean, not right now. I don't see that there's anything we can do. So the best thing to do is to go Mgtow, right? Essentially, vote with your feet and leave. Lord Hybrid says Pacquiao, Doghouse Pacquiao. Yeah, right, Pacquiao. This guy, this old timer that I know, he's an old Filipino guy, and he invited me to the casino here in Chicago to watch a fight. Anyone know who won that fight anyway? Was it Pacquiao? Yelling in an argument is considered domestic violence. Yes, according to what's it called? These coercive control laws. Yes, raising your voice is now considered domestic violence. But only when you do it. When the woman does it, it's not. And here's why. So according to the Duluth model of domestic violence, whenever a woman engages in any kind of violence, yelling, hitting, anything like that, it's automatically assumed that she must be doing it in a defensive measure. So when you use violence, it's to oppress. When she uses violence, it's to defend. So again, when you study the laws, what you find is it's written into the law that you are just automatically considered guilty. You're just you're just automatically considered the bad guy, which of course I'm totally against that, right? But that's how it is because evil people have taken over our system, and they're systematically enslaving men. They're essentially making us into second-class citizens. So good point, Fabian. Doghouse says Hybrid. I'm assuming he's talking about Lord Hybrid, who used to be Mgtow Hybrid. We got Lord Hybrid versus Ugas. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, Pacquiao versus Ugas. We were just talking about you on the live stream. Yes. Okay. Got his ass whipped. Okay, good. Good to hear it. Lord Hybrid. What up? What up at the doghouse? Okay. Hybrid, please tell me you're back in the Telegram. The market is about to blow. I can feel it. Okay. I don't know what that is. Terminator T800 writes, women equal stress. Yes, yes, women equal stress, man. As I've gotten older, absolutely. I've come to the same basic conclusion. At this point, I just go with pros, man. I go with pros. And I gotta admit, it's a little dry. It's a little dry lately. But hell, I'll tell you guys another tale. What I'm going to tell you right now is kind of messed up, but it is true. Um, so at one time, I had maybe five girls that at any time I could call them and say, "Hey, what's up? Let's meet up. Let's do our thing. A little, pay for play." And I was recently down to three, but then a couple terrible things happened. Um, one of them, one of them's always in and out. Like she's just in and out. Like I'll see her, and then I'll see her for a couple months, and then she got a phone, and then she loses her phone, and then I don't see her for 6 weeks. I won't see her for 2 months, but she always pops in and out. But that's the least of my problems, or that's the least of my problems. And then what happened was something terrible happened. That same girl texted me, and she told me, this other girl, this girl that we mutually know, she got locked up. She got arrested. And word on the street is, I don't know, but word on the street is that she was busted selling some drugs, some very serious drugs. And so she's looking at serious jail time. And I went on the Cook County inmate search. I went on the Cook County inmate search. It's like a website. You can go to this website, punch in the name. You got to know the person's last name, but Joe, all my bitches love me. Or what am I trying to say? I know the last name of all my girls. And so I looked her up, and sure enough, she was in there. And I was like, damn, this girl got locked up. So she got locked up. And I guess they are denying her bail. The charges are that serious. So she's, I don't know. I hope she's okay. But I don't know. She must have been engaging in some bad stuff. And then even worse, the kind of, in a way, if you think about it, the worst thing of all, I got a text message from one of these girls, and she told me the worst thing you could possibly hear. She told me the worst thing you could possibly hear. She told me that this third girl that I know, she passed away, and this third girl was only like 42, I think. She had been prescribed certain pills, I forget what they're called. I think they're similar to like Xanax. But this girl, every month, she would get her prescription refilled, and I guess she decided to overdose on these pills, and she self-deleted, so to speak. It was very sad. But yeah. So it's kind of dry. I guess I got to start looking for some new girls. I gotta hit the stroll, if you know what I mean. All right, continuing on. We've got Lord Hybrid. I think so. I'm gonna buy some ETH. Yeah. I got like $8,000 right now in. I got $8,000 right now in Doge. God, I hope Doge goes back up. Please, let's hope. I want to see Doge go to $1. Lord Hybrid, tell old man to buy as and say F it. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but Lord Hybrid, that's women's default response to any disagreement with a man. Call the cops. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, oh man, I think we knew this in the past, that women will basically use Women will use any means possible to win. Um, and they don't really care. I mean, like I was telling you about my friend Brandon, you know, I, I didn't say this in public, but I was telling Brandon in private. You know, Brandon is African American, or Brandon is a black. You know, he's a black man, and I was telling him, you know, Brandon, when you Brandon, you want to be careful about bringing cops to your house. You know, sometimes cops they may feel afraid. You know, I don't want to say that cops are racist, you know, but sometimes maybe some cops can be racist, or just I was just telling them, listen, you got to be careful when your mom calls the police on you, or when your girlfriend Kina, when she decides to go fucking crazy and destroy your shit, you got to be careful, because when the police come, statistically you have a higher chance of getting shot by the police than getting into an auto wreck and getting killed, So you got to be careful, man. But these women, they just don't care. Women just don't care. They'll just call the cops for anything. And yes, I've noticed the same thing. Moving on, the doghouse is damn. Okay. Terminator, amen, hybrid. Doghouse. I remember when my Asian ex-girlfriend cracked a guitar over my back over Guitar Hero. Yeah, yeah. I've noticed that women also they have no problem being violent. I mean, again, I think this all goes back to, it becomes ingrained in them at a young age that they're not going to get in trouble. They're never going to face any there's never going to be any backlash, any consequences. They're never going to be held accountable for any of the crap that they pull. And I hope eventually within my lifetime that changes. SMH Lord Hybrid writes, I'll be glad when women really get equality. Then we can call the cops on them and they'll get locked up. Yeah, right. See, that's what I think. I've been talking about that for a long time. I think that we should change the laws eventually and say, whenever the cops come, everyone should just get locked up. Women claim they want equality. Let's just make it everyone gets locked up. This way, if the women call the police, they're going to know. They're going to know no matter what, that they're going to get locked up too. And I bet you if that happened, women would think twice. Women would absolutely think twice before calling the police. But again, we know how it really is. They do that on purpose, and they do that on purpose so that men feel afraid. They want men to be in fear, to live in fear. Terminator, never let them stay with you. Oh, I couldn't agree more. Let me share another story. Totally true story. I went through like a whole phase. I don't know what you want to call it. No, it was not a whole phase. But when I was 30, I met a girl over Craigslist. You guys remember Craigslist? Remember how Craigslist used to have the what's it called, like the personals? I really wish they still had that. That is so sad. Again, but they cracked down because of the men. They blame the men. They say, oh, we got to get rid of that because men are they're engaging in sex trafficking. It's just bullshit, man. Anyway, so I scored. I met a girl on Craigslist. She was this girl. She lived in a far south suburb. I went down there. We started hooking up, and I mean, I should have seen the red flags with her. She was older than me. I think she was 38. I was 30 at the time. But whatever. I was just a little horn dog, and I was just taking anything I can get. And she was pretty easy access, so I kept coming back. But yeah, like she had a kid. She had lost custody of her kid, and she was just a fucking whack job. And then at one point, she came over to the city. She came to Chicago. She came up to see me, and she spent the night. And yeah, right away she started talking real stupid shit. She was like, "Wow, really? Oh, you got a nice place, and wow, maybe we can move in together, and you would say we could be together all the time." And you'd be saving money, like, because we'd be, we pay together, you'd be saving money on rent and all this. And I'm just like, oh God, that's not what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking, I want to screw this babe. I want to, I want to screw this skank, and then I want to get her out. But yeah, they try to weasel their way into your life. Don't let it happen. The doghouse. And use a VPN, preferably NordVPN. Okay. Start new StreamYard on this chat. Canada gotta get rid of that commie Trudeau. Yeah. Yeah, Trudeau, man. He's selling you guys down the river, man. I am so sorry to hear it. Terminator. No wonder women are entitled. Oh, they're entitled, all right. Fabian. I think for yelling at you, girl, you gain 6 months free holidays minimum. I don't get that. Does that mean you go to jail? I'm not sure. Doghouse. The other guy won, not Pacquiao. Oh, okay. Okay. So Pacquiao lost. Sorry to hear that. I mean, I don't really care, but Pacquiao's more famous, so I guess I would, I don't know, cheer for Pacquiao. Whatever. All these young guns coming up. Fabian, I think for yelling at you, girl, you gain 6 months free holidays. Okay. Monk mode is the only way. One fast stack. Unfortunately, I'm starting kind of. Eventually, I'm starting to agree with you. I'm starting to agree with that. Like, again, like I said, I still see girls, but I don't date. I don't date at all. There is no dating. There's no dating. There's no going on dates. There's no me paying for dates. There's absolutely no getting married. There's absolutely no letting these chicks, get married, cohabitation. Absolutely not. I just go pro. I go the pro route. But going monk, I see the advantage. I absolutely see. I see it. I know what you're talking about. Lord Hybrid, computer love is the way for me now. Good old P Hub when necessary. Yeah, yeah, right. That's I can't disagree with you there, man. Totally agree, actually. Lord Hybrid, some people saying the pandemic can be spread sexually. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm starting to think the whole thing is a scam, though. Yeah, right, exactly. I'm starting to think the whole damn thing is a scam. Lord Hybrid says, yep. Okay. One fast stack writes, cops are white knights. Yes, I couldn't agree more. My father was a cop. My father was a police officer, a Chicago police officer. And I can tell you beyond the shadow of a doubt, I know for sure he is a white knight. He lets women get away with anything. And it's just absurd, and I can't stand it. In fact, so much so that I basically have nothing to do with my father anymore. So, okay, the doghouse writes, statistically, black men die from diabetes and heart failure. I'm assuming he wants to say more than anything else. Media likes to prop up police encounters for us. Okay, that's true. That's true. I mean, remember, police kill more white people in this country every year than black people, right? That's a fact. And especially when it comes to unarmed, I think it was last year. Last year, the police they killed 9 unarmed black men in America. 9, and all the other ones that were killed, they had some form of weapon. But I mean, yeah, I agree. They push that narrative. I agree with that. What for? I don't know, but you can take a guess. Okay, today, China banned effeminate men, sissy men, from being on TV. They say it will weaken their revolutionary spirit. Yeah, I wish we would do that here, but yeah, China, man, I'm telling you, I worry sometimes. I think this century belongs to China. I really do. I find it amazing how we're told, this country, America, we're told that, oh, we gotta There's all these things we got to do, and we gotta shut down all these power plants, and we're destroying the environment and all this. Do you guys know that China is putting up one coal-fired power plant? China is building a power plant every 10 days. Every 10 days, a new power plant in China is fully constructed. So, I mean, it's like a big pool, right? If you piss in a pool, it doesn't matter if you piss on one side or you piss on the other, you're pissing in the pool. And it's like, we're told that we have to be clean with the environment, but China, not just China, India as well. India and China, they're spewing out a ton of what's it called, pollution. But we don't come after them, do we? All right. Women know they have the advantage in this one-sided system. Yes, they do. Yes, they absolutely do. See, I have this idea that like the real reason why it's like this is because the powers that be, they want it like this. The ultra rich, the ruling class, whatever you want to call them, they like this system because it does a number of things. It oppresses men, right? And that's the number one thing that I think the ultra rich fear is men getting together, creating change. Think of every single war, every single rebellion, every single revolt. Who is it? Like who is it who picks up the pitchforks and overthrows the government, right? It's not women, it's men. So you must always make sure that the men are under control. And then they know that they can do that through the women. See, the problem is they understand us better than we understand ourselves. The governments know that men, they understand our psychology. Again, like I said, they understand us better than we understand ourselves. The governments know that men love women. So whatever the women do, the men are going to follow. That's how I see it. And so they create this system where women always have the upper hand in the legal system. And this is going to create division. It's going to destroy families. And and then who gets to come in? Who gets to come in and mediate all this? The government. So yeah, they do it on purpose, and not to mention, also makes a lot of money. I mean, think of like divorce court, call it whatever you want, divorce court, child custody court. We Mgtow know it's that's all parlance for family court. Family court makes more money than all other courts combined. Family court makes somewhere between $50 and $60 billion a year. Um, that's a lot of money. 50 billion, or let's say take the average between 50 and 60, it's 55 billion. It averages about $55 billion a year. That's so much money. I mean, that's an industry all in itself. $55 billion a year. Think about all the lawyers, the lawyers, the police, the bailiffs, the stenographers, the caseworkers, the judges, the courts, all those people getting paid. All those people getting paid. And off of what? Off of the men. These men get screwed hard. They get screwed so hard. Yeah, man. I think as Mgtow, our biggest, probably one of our biggest enemies is the courts. These family courts, man. Ugh. And remember, they operate totally outside of the three branches of government. Family court operates completely outside the jurisdiction of the United States Constitution. They're unconstitutional. They're essentially a kangaroo court, but it doesn't matter. Again, we're losing our country. All right. Lord Hybrid writes, do you feel like straight white men are being demonized by the system? Yes, I do. I made a video about it. So I think we all are being demonized by the system. I think like black men are demonized in a way, and let me describe that. the black men are demonized in the way to make them seem like, they represent like street crime. Um, you know, they're the ones you have to be afraid of when you're walking down the street and they're gonna pull a knife on you, or and rob you or something. Um, but white men, they're more associated with maybe like white collar crime, like they're running a, I don't know, a scam business or something. But yeah, are white men being demonized by the system? Yes, yes, I agree with that. I think they are. Increasingly, they are, and I think that there's a reason for that. I think that in a way, white men are like, they're like the last line of defense. They're the absolute last line of defense against total tyranny. I think our government is afraid of white men because white men, they they have like, they have the spirit of they're a group of people that want to remain free. Number one. Number two, they know what freedom is. And number three, they number one, they want to be free. Number two, they know what freedom is. Number three, they know how to fight freedom. You know, yes, absolutely. I think white people in general, but especially white men, they're being demonized because essentially it's like white men are like the last line of defense. And if we can figure out a way to emasculate white men, then there'll be nothing. There will be no opposition left to protect the republic. You know, and I think that that's the goal behind that. But again, I think they're doing it to all groups. To all groups, like you know, I think that there's a concerted effort to like homosexualize the black community or black men. But I think that I think now that they're also starting to do that to the men in the white community as well. So I think we're all under attack, just in different ways. Um, and I think in the beginning anyway, the black community was like the canary in the coal mine. All of these social engineering attacks on us were sort of like beta tested in the black community. I think of like welfare. Welfare came online mostly for black people first, and this was like in the 60s and 70s. Well, it's been 50 years since then. Now look what's happening. Now it's now white communities are well, Hispanic as well, white, Hispanic. Basically, it started with the black community, but now it's spilling over into the white community and the Hispanic community. In fact, the only communities that are doing a really, really good job of resisting all this social engineering are the Asians and the Jews. The Asians and the Jews, they still stay real tight knit. They're real tight knit. They don't let all this social engineering come in and fuck their families up. But yeah, look what's happening to the Mexican communities and the white communities in this country. Every single year, fatherlessness in these communities is ticking up. It's inching up. I remember not 2020. I think it was 2019. In 2019, the government recorded 42% of live births to unwed mothers, as they called it, and that's just code speak for, where's the daddy? The father's gone. So yeah, I think there's an attack on all of us. The social engineering was first rolled out in the black community. They beta tested it. Now they're just giving it to all of us. And you see that in both like the Hispanic community and the white community. Dysfunction in the white community is growing. Dysfunction is in the Hispanic community is growing. Fatherlessness is growing. So yeah, I mean, it's just getting worse and worse. All right, Terminator. Bad behavior will flourish where there is little to no consequences. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Pretty much. That's a very masculine way of thinking about it. Um, we got to lay down boundaries, but increasingly we're told we're not allowed to do that because that's patriarchy, or that's oppression, or whatever bullshit attack whatever lie they decide to tell to take away our authority. All right, one fast stack. Yes, brother hybrid. The doghouse. You should see the number of women that got booted from my apartment this week. My God. Oh man, I'd love to hear about that. Yeah, doghouse. Can you talk about that? Who? I mean, I understand the moratorium in this country. The what's it called? The eviction moratorium, the federal eviction moratorium. It has been lifted, or it is being lifted. I thought, or I'm not sure exactly, but yeah. If you want to talk about that. By the way, if anyone wants to call in, I left a link to the stream all the way at the top. Please feel free to call in. All right. Will Cruz, howdy, cowboy. Well, howdy, Will. Howdy, man. I can't remember if I remember. I can't remember. I can't recall if I remember speaking to you in my in some of my videos. All right, Will Cruz at the doghouse. This is only the beginning. Oh, okay. I think you guys are talking about the eviction moratorium. Yeah. I'm telling you, our economy is going into the crapper, dude. We're going into the crapper. What is unemployment, like 8%? Bro, it's gonna like double. And then I don't know what you guys think, long term, but I'm sort of thinking that like it's not even gonna tick up. I'm telling you, unemployment is like gonna double. Our economy is going to crap. We don't produce anything. That. Oh man, don't even get me started, man. The Fed printing all this money. I remember hearing a statistic between 1945 and 1995, inflation averaged 2 to 3% a year. So you do the average of that. That's like 2.5% a year. Inflation averaged 2.5% a year all those decades. Now I hear inflation is like it's almost 5% a month, not a year, a month. And I'm sure you guys have seen it. Like, oh man, just last week I went to Walmart, and I like to buy, certain types of foods. And I noticed this one type of food is like a bag of fish. It used to be, I swear to God, a year ago, it was like $11. Now it's like $15. And I mean, I don't know, man. It's just, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. Next thing you know, man, everything's getting more expensive. All right. The doghouse. I just bought a new BMW coupe. While the wanksters get evicted, the real Mgtow buy BMWs. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Doghouse, good for you, man. And I say, some Mgtow guys or people like Aaron Clary, they say like, oh, be a minimalist. Be a minimalist, don't floss. I respectfully disagree with them. If you got the money to floss, then you floss, man. Definitely. I mean, you only got one life to live. And if you're secure, if you're taking care of business and you got a little extra money, floss. I admit it. I am a capitalist pig. So you got to floss, man. All right, Will Cruz. I'll stick with my pickup and motorcycle. Okay, so I have a motorcycle. Will, what kind of motorcycle you got, man? What kind of motorcycle you got? Yeah, I have a Okay, my very first motorcycle was a Honda. Oh, it was the sweetest little thing. Oh man, it was a candy apple red. Oh man, it was candy apple red. A Honda Rebel 250. Oh man, it's got that chopper look to it. Ah man, I swear to God, same shit. That fucking motorcycle. You know why I got destroyed? Man, dude, seriously, it's because my fucking stepmom, man. She'd never let me store it in the garage, so I had to store it outside. And you store a motorcycle outside, it rusted to shit. If I was just able to leave it, that kills me. Anyway, but I ended up getting a new motorcycle. I got it's not new. It's still an old motorcycle, but it's new to me. The motorcycle I have now is it's a 1986 Kawasaki 454 Limited. It's look it up. It's a sweet looking bike, man. It's a sweet looking bike. I did not bring it out this summer, but I will definitely be bringing it. I will definitely be bringing it out next summer. All right. Oh yeah, talking about a pickup, by the way. Yeah, Will, I definitely want to get a pickup eventually. I drive a tiny, tiny little car. I drive a 2014 Chevy Spark. If you don't know what the Spark is, look it up. It's the tiniest little car. It is similar to like a Fiat 500. It gets like 33 miles. It's like 40 miles highway, 30 miles street. So you average it out, it's like 34. I get like 34 miles to the gallon, 33, 34 miles to the gallon. But it's tiny. It's tiny. Many people have mistaken it for the smart car. But I want to get a pickup. Specifically, and I don't, guys like big pickups, and that's cool. I don't diss big pickups, but I actually like small pickups. Like my two favorite pickups are probably like the Ford Ranger and the Chevy S10. You know those tiny, tiny little baby pickups? I like those, man. They're like little toy cars, man. I gotta get one. All right, Lord Hybrid. The white man is very organized. That's their main strength from the outside looking in. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with that statement. I mean, the white man is very organized. You know, you know, when I think of and I claim to be white, I'm actually half Mexican. Um, I'm half Mexican. I have a Spanish last name. My dad was born in Mexico, but I'm very light skinned. My dad married a white woman, and they had 3 kids. I was one of them, and my dad is darker than me. He still looks white. He still passes what you would call white. He's white, I guess, but he's more like olive skinned. He's got like dark hair, dark eyes. I have light eyes. I consider myself white, and yeah, I think I sound very white. I look very white. Most people consider me white, and yeah, I can tell you it's yeah, I agree with that statement. The white man is very organized. At the same time, the vast majority of white people in this country, they're not in the controlling, they're not in the ruling classes. Remember, the majority of poor people in this country are white. The majority of people who live below the poverty line are white. I think the white poverty though is like it's like less it's less extreme. For example, like when I was living in South Dakota, I lived in South Dakota for 5 years. And I can tell you that there's poor people in South Dakota. Not everyone's rich. It's just like here. It's just like probably where you're living. You got the 1%. You've got the you know I don't know, the middle class, which is like the top. You got the top 1%, and you got like another 10% after that, 15% maybe, like the middle class. And then you've got like the bottom 80% that are just like working class, either like low middle class or working class. There's definitely poor people in South Dakota, but you don't see them. It's different. You don't. It's not like in Chicago. I live in Chicago. You see poor people. You see poor people. All the major on the exit ramps, all the major interstates. You see people like panhandling. You see people that try to in the Mexican neighborhoods, just like fucking poor people trying to sell you oranges and shit in the side of the street. Um, in the hood, like in the black neighborhood, they'll be like in the black neighborhoods. There's guys with like squeegees, and they'll try to clean your windshield wiper, and they want $1. There's poverty. There was poverty there, but it's not as extreme. You know, but yeah, yeah. I would say of the richest people in this country, most of them are white. So, and of those, I would say most of them are Jewish. The ultra rich in this country, I would say the new elite is are mostly Jewish people. All right, the doghouse. In short, it's a highly Luciferian system. Element Mgtow touches on this so well. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Element, dude. I like Element. I've I have watched Probably not every single one. I have definitely watched most of his videos, and unfortunately, I agree with him. I think that there is definitely a demonic force at hand. Um, you know, I don't know. I don't know what these guys what they study. I don't know what these guys what they worship. Um, you know, see, I think. Oh man, you guys don't know. You don't want to know what I think. Sometimes I think like literally, like the devil or Satan himself runs this world, and he tries to recruit his minions to help run things. And I think Element, he talks about that. I like Element. I like Element a lot. He's got a lot of good stuff. All right, the doghouse. Matter of fact, let me start downloading and archiving more classic Mgtow content before they take it off. Yeah, we should do that. Think I think Hammerhand was talking about that. Hammerhand was saying, I can't remember. He was talking about there's a big mirroring, a big project to mirror our content. What is it, like Mgtow Cafe or something like that? I don't know. But yes, we should start doing that. We should have a central location, a central website that archives all of this stuff. And I would totally support that. We should do that. One Fast Act. You can find it on Odyssey, Brother Doghouse. Okay. The Doghouse writes, one of the chicks tried to lie to me last week about forgetting her key in her room. Little did she know, I already knew the landlord deactivated her access to the building. She moved out this week. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's sad. It's sad but true. And I mean, sometimes when I'm feeling soft, I actually feel sorry for these women, but then I snap back. Then I snap back to reality, and I realize, you know what? These women have all the freaking advantages given to them, and some of them still fuck up. And if that's the case, you just got to let them burn. You just got to let them burn. And believe me, they would let you burn. They would let you go hungry and homeless on the street. And I know that from experience. And that is so sad. It's the saddest thing in the world. It's like, I was just listening to a video. It's already old. It's like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. I was listening to Quiet Earp, and Quiet Earp was saying, he put it really well. He said, men, oh, no, women need men, but they don't want men. Women need men, but they don't want men. Men want women, but they don't need women. Or no, I'm sorry. No. Let me say that again. Let me say that one more time. I'm sorry. He said, men. No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not drunk. I swear. He said, women need men, but they don't want men. Men don't need women, but we want women. That's how he put it. And I completely agree with him. It's the cruelest. It's such a wicked game. It's like, and part of this is women's fault, but part of it is not. And just like us men, part of it is our fault, but part of it is not. The part that is our fault is basically Mgtow. We can choose to go Mgtow. We can rise above our nature. And that is to say, our nature, it is innate in the male of the species to want women, to desire them, to want to seek them out, to seek them out, to want to provide and protect them, and of course to bang them and get them pregnant, right? That's what men really want. Men want to find women, hook up with them, provide and protect for them, and get them pregnant, and screw them good and get them pregnant, right? That's really what it is. I can tell you honestly, I've noticed this in my own behavior. I know this sounds terrible. I'm not a simp, or maybe I was a simp. I'm a simp in recovery. I love watching women eat. I there's a girl I know, and we hook up a lot. I've in the last 7 years, I've hooked up with her more than any other girl, and I love to watch her eat. I literally will take her to a restaurant, nothing fancy. I'll take her to McDonald's. I'll take her to Wendy's. And I love, I'll get some food, I'll get a sandwich, I'll get her a sandwich, and we're eating. I literally enjoy watching her eat. And I think that that comes from some sort of like weird, like the man, it is innate, like literally it's in our genetics is what I'm trying to say. It is innate in the male of the species to want to provide and protect for the female. And it's a cruel hoax because that can be turned against the man. That can be turned against the man, and they can construct a slave system where even though we enjoy treating them well, they treat us like trash. And then they take all of our money, and then, we're just left high and dry. See, I think uh it's so it's so it's so it's so evil. It's so evil, but it's just it's how it is. We men, we want to take care of women. But women, they don't want us. They don't like us. They ugh, yuck. At the same time, they need us. They don't want they don't want women are parasites. Women are essentially parasites. They can do most of the work that they need done for themselves. They just don't want to do it. They're always looking for, some guy to come and rescue them and throw out the trash and fix the commode when it breaks. And, so they use us. They use us like parasites. And MGTOW men are essentially men that have recognized this dynamic. We are men that have recognized that we have in us the desire, we want. MGTOW are men that have figured out psychology, the basic dynamic between men and women. And we've risen, we have risen above our nature. That's really what it is. MGTOW men are men who have figured out what our nature is, and our nature is again to provide and protect for women, and to want to couple up with them and impregnate them. And we MGTOW men are men that have realized that, and we've risen above that for various reasons. And I think most of us came to this conclusion because we have either gone through bad experiences with women, or we simply have observed other people who have gone through negative experiences with women. So anyway, listen, I'll say it again. If anyone wants to call in, man, call in. There's all the way at the top of the chat. I put a link to the stream. I wouldn't mind having someone call in. Wouldn't mind it. The doghouse. Another chick was crying buckets in her way out. These are the same people that stick their noses up when a male resident greets by the mailboxes. I've seen it. It probably means them. Yeah, right. It's amazing. I mean, again, like I said, women. I used to think women were like an enigma. They're so hard to figure out. I don't understand them. Now I totally understand them. Women by their very nature are catty. They're catty. You look up that word. What does catty mean? Catty, I don't know the dictionary definition. I think I do. It means something like to purpose, to be purposely mean-spirited, to be mean on purpose. Women are literally mean on purpose. And I believe that it's innate in them. It's something in their nature. So, and like in the Bible, it says, what is it? I don't know in what book it was, but it said maybe Revelation or something like that. It talks about like what is it, in the last days, seven women will take to one man and take his name, just so he can take away the reproach or whatever. It says it in the Bible. I mean, women are just full of reproach. You know, they're just they're just mean. Women are just mean. It's in their nature to be mean, and that's why we need to build up. That's why women need to be properly socialized. We need to make sure that their super ego is properly developed. We essentially need to impose morality onto women. Otherwise, they're just going to run wild. And what I'm saying is that's what's happened. Men have lost their fucking balls, and the women have run wild, and now the ship's going down. So, moving on. Terminator writes, I have no sympathy for females who become homeless because they do evil. No mercy received, no mercy given. Yeah, bro. sorry to have to agree with you, but that's kind of where I'm going these days. Yes, I'm starting to become I'm just not as soft-hearted anymore. I'm becoming like hard. I'm becoming hard-hearted. I just, I was just making a video. I just made a video a couple days ago. Or no. I made the video a week ago, but I just released it like 2 days ago. I was making the video was a shout out to Donovan Warland, who coincidentally totally changed his channel today, and he like removed all his videos and turned everything to private, and seems like he's starting to embrace religion a lot more. Like all of his videos now are all about like readings from the Bible. I don't know. I think he might be becoming like a fundamentalist Christian, or maybe an Orthodox Christian. Now that I think about it, but anyway, yeah, he made a video. He was talking about this very subject, that men are increasingly becoming like us. They don't have any mercy anymore. They're not giving. It's getting to a point where if you see a woman being attacked, we're not helping them anymore. If you see a woman who can't, reach, something on the top shelf, we reach around them and grab something on an even taller shelf, but we don't help them in the act, Or if you see a woman in the parking lot trying to load something heavy, we don't help them anymore. There's just this callous. There's like this social malaise that's, men, men just don't like women anymore. We think that we think that they're witches. We think they suck, and they do, right? They're very abusive, and they refuse to police themselves, and they've all just become, I don't know, just not. It's gotten to the point now. I just avoid women. I just avoid them, and when I listen to them, here's another thing I've noticed as I've gotten older. I don't really listen anymore to what women say. Quite literally, I mean, I do listen to what they say, but that does not take precedence anymore. You know what takes precedence now? Every single time when I talk to a woman, I listen to the declension of her voice. I don't listen to what women say. I listen to how they're saying it, is what I'm trying to say. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is, when I listen to women, yes, I listen to what they're saying, the actual words, but you know what I listen to? You know what I try to figure out more is their state of mind, their mood. What are they really trying to say? What mood are they in? That is something that it's the strangest thing in the world. I'm telling you, when you get older, you figure some of this shit out. I had no idea when I was 12, 15, 18. I had no idea. Now I'm twice that age. I'm 30. I'm 37. And now when I talk with women, I listen to what they say. But I try to I listen I listen for the stressors in their voice. I try to figure out, is this woman in a bad mood? Is this woman in a good mood? Is this woman ovulating? You can tell. I'm telling you, you can tell. So yeah, no sympathy, man, because these women, these women are totally out of control, dude. Okay, moving on. Dredgy G. Wait for the 2022 Ford Maverick, 40 miles per gallon on a hybrid engine. Starts at 20K. It's a small truck like the old Nissan. Toyota hard bodies, new cab, 4.5 feet bed. Okay. Yeah. 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 I eventually want to get a truck. That's for sure. That's for sure. Although I must admit, I like getting deals. I like getting deals. The car I have now, I did not buy it new. I didn't buy it new. I bought it used. It was 2 years old when I bought it. I always recommend buying a car that's like 1 or 2 years old because you still get most of the value out of it, but you end up paying like half the price. Like for my car, for everything, taxes, title, fees, everything. It was just under $13,000. I think it was like $12,987. It basically was 13 grand. Everything, and it's nice. It's nice. I mean, and it's paid off. My car's paid off. Oh man, let me tell you something. Oh man, let me tell you, man, one of the nicest things in the world. One of the nicest things in the world is when you don't have a car payment anymore. I've had a couple cars now in my life, and I can tell you, I actually threw a small party. Me and four of my boys. I invited. All right. Here's another quick story for you guys. True story. This was what, 2 summers ago? No, dude, I think this was 3 summers ago. Man, time goes by so fast. 3 summers ago, I finished paying off my car, and I threw a little party, a little pizza party. We all met at a restaurant here in Chicago called Al Capone's at the corner of Narragansett and Irving Park Road. And they all showed up, and I bought a pizza, one large pizza. And another reason why I went there is because they have like this super duper pizza. It's not, got like a small, medium, large. They also have like this extra, extra large thing. It's like, I think it's like 18 inches. Normally the large pizza is like what, like 16 inches. This thing's like 8. No, I think it's like 20 inches. It's ginormous pizza. So it'll feed 5, it's one pizza, $22, whatever. Anyway, we go there, and I tell them, I'm bringing you all here because I want to see you, but also just to celebrate, I'm paying off my car. And I took a $3,000 check. And, basically I took, after eating the meal with them, I took this $3,000 check right to my not cash exchange, what's it called? Not my bank. I don't have a bank. Big banks, no thanks. What's that? Not currency exchange. What's it called? A credit union. I'm sorry. I bank with a credit union, not a bank. You can do most things with a credit union that you can do with a bank. So I don't like banks because they got too many fees and such. Anyway, so yeah, after treating all of them to pizza, I went and paid off the last $3,000 to my car, and I can tell you that was a good feeling. It's nice to have a paid off car. So I'm kind of cheap in that way. Maybe when I'm older, I'll buy like a real nice, luxury car. But I've always owned like, not jalopies. They're always good. They're always, reliable. I'm all about having reliable transportation, but I just don't like to spend too much, All right. The Doghouse writes, it's not that white men are organized. It's they have learned to cooperate better than others. Yes, I agree. Remember, history is made by only 30% of men. The Teslas, Edisons, Van Gogh, Goethe, I don't know, Napoleon. Yeah, I mean, about that. Yeah, I agree with that. And I believe that is mostly cultural. I have listened to a number of people talk about that. There's like, let's see, a couple of people come to mind. One would be Professor Dutton. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of Professor Dutton. He talks about that. He talks about high cooperation societies, high trust societies. My man Donovan Warland, he talks about that a lot. Although again, he just got rid of all of his content today. I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But and then I remember, any of you guys remember? Have any of you guys ever heard of Stefan Molyneux? Stefan Molyneux. Um, yeah, he's talked about that before as well. Like, what is it? R selected, K selected, societies, and like, poor people are basically like R selected. Higher middle class and upper middle class and above are more K selected. And these people, they tend to cooperate better. They tend to forge like higher trust societies. And yeah, that's totally true. And I can't remember who was it. I think it might have been Stefan Molyneux talked about it, where he gave an example. So it's like an example. It's like a comparison example. Take like the riots in South Central and Watts in L.A. Back in the 90s, and compare that to like a natural disaster that happens in Japan. Kobe, the city of Kobe. It's a major city. Um, there's an earthquake, 5 miles off the coast. It shakes the shit out of the city, and then of course, 10 minutes later, and then the earthquake causes this massive tidal wave that hits the city, like 9 minutes later. So so you get an earthquake, your city is shake to shit, half the buildings collapse, and then 9 minutes later, a 150-foot wave washes over the city. It's like, wow, what a perfect what a perfect what a perfect time to start, rioting, or maybe to start looting. Well, what happened is, in South Central and Watts, there was a lot of looting, right? This is where we get the meme of the rooftop Korean, right? And there's a lot of looting. You could call it racial violence. Like there was, there's looting, but a lot of the looting had like racial undertones to it, where like you would have like the black communities, looting Chinese stores or Korean stores, and you know, and then compare that to in Kobe, there was absolutely no rioting, there was absolutely no looting. And why is that? Because according to people like Stefan Molyneux or Professor Dutton, they talk about high trust societies. The black people of South Central, they don't necessarily get along very well with the Koreans or the Chinese. In fact, maybe they see the Koreans, opening up all these shops, all these stores in their neighborhood, and they don't particularly like it. Maybe they feel like they're being, undercut economically. And so there's not this sense of community. There's not this sense of trust that exists in a place like L.A. But then in Kobe, it would be a perfect time to go steal a television, right? The police are going to be inundated. All the emergency services are going to be, inundated. No pun intended. Inundated. No. I mean, but the point is, in Kobe, Kobe in Japan, the population is much more homogeneous. Everyone's Japanese. Why? And the Japanese see themselves in that light, in that way. They say, why would I go rape and rob another Japanese person? That's my cousin. That's my extended cousin. That's my second cousin. These are my people. And so they don't do that. But in other parts of the world where there's different groups living amongst each other, they will do that to each other. So, to finish that thought by the doghouse, they've learned to cooperate better. I guess I think there's something to that. Sorry for the a long explanation there. After years of bloodshed, of course. Yes, yes. Remember, white people did not always get along. Um, the white people did not always get along very well. Think of like the 100 Years' War, or there's many examples. I mean, you know, Teutonic Holy Blade having a good stream. I hope. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so. Teutonic. Where are you from, Teutonic? I'm assuming. I'm assuming. Well, by your name, you're a Teuton, so I assume you're a German. I'm half Teuton myself. Whiskey, whiskey man, good to see you in the stream, bro. Howdy Mgtow, or howdy cowboy, howdy fellas. Yeah, man, howdy whiskey. Good to see you, bro. Will Cruz, I ride a Kawasaki Vulcan 900. Yes, very good, very nice. I'm familiar. Will, her name is Scarlett, and she's the only one. Yeah, right, good. That's good. Whiskey's path. There is no reasoning with the child or those with the mind of a child. Yes, yes, right. Unfortunately I've come to the same basics. I've come to the same basic reasoning pattern. Women are basically like children. So one fast act. I have a 94 KX500 and an 82 YZ490. Okay, I'm assuming he's talking about motorcycles, but I don't know because I'm not familiar with either of those two. Terminator. Women killed chivalry by their own arrogance. Yeah, they did. But you got to remember what chivalry is. I mean, remember that chivalry was actually a military code that developed in medieval Europe, and it was for those practicing the martial arts, or maybe I shouldn't say martial arts, but the people who engaged in warfare, primarily order foot soldiers and knights. Essentially people working under a crown, a royal army. They were basically taught through culture. Once we conquer another region, once we conquer a village or a town, please don't go in and just rob every young man that you come across, and please don't rape every young girl from every village that we come across. Essentially, it was something akin to like a code of military justice. That's really how it started. But yes, what ended up happening like 300 or 400 years later is like essentially the white women, the aristocracy, the aristocratic white women of Europe, they turned it into this. They twisted it into this weird like thing about love and how men need to be the same shit we always talk about. Basically what women turned it into is, well, we gotta they turned it into you men got to be nice to us and pull out the chair, and you guys got to pick up the check, and the same shit. There's just slavery, women just get everything what they want, and women get everything for free, and men got to do all the work. And it's how it molded in, how it became, how one thing became another. I don't know how, but that's what started out as a military code of ethics, and now it's all about opening the door and pulling out the chair for women and paying for all their shit. I don't know how that happened. Chivalry is an arrestable offense now. Well, you know what? Yeah, okay, that's fine. That actually doesn't bother me. Yeah, fuck chivalry. Don't be chivalrous. Don't be chivalrous. And yes, I think it is actually. It's yeah, I don't know. Chivalry was originally supposed to be guidelines on how gentlemen and knights, yes, were expected to treat one another, respect, dignity. It didn't really have much to do with women. Right, exactly. It was a military code of justice. That's really what it was. That's right. Whiskey's got it right there. One fast stack. That's pretty cool, Brother Path. Whiskey's path. The word chivalry comes from the French word chevalier. Chevalier. Okay. Which literally means horseman. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that to be a fact, but I mean, that could be. It's kind of similar in Spanish, and huh. I think it's okay. So in Spanish, the word caballero means a gentleman, and caballero or caballero comes from the word caballo, el caballo. Caballo is the word in Spanish for horse. So, that could be okay. Chivalry, gentleman, horseman. I don't know. I don't know. I enjoy etymology. I find it fascinating. So I'll have to look that one up. Yeah, I have to look that one up. I think in Spanish a horseman is jinete. Jinete. But okay. The doghouse. Now that you mentioned pizza, I'm stopping by 7-Eleven for a quick snack. Another perk of being a MGTOW, do anything you want, whenever you want. LOL. I've been on magic mushrooms all week too. Life is good. Yo, bro, that's cool. That's totally cool. So yeah, a couple points there. Yeah, yeah, man. A perk of being a MGTOW is you can do anything you want. Yeah, bro. You can do anything you want, anytime you want. You got the money to do what you want. Yeah, I mean it's give and take. It's give and take. It would be nice to have a wife and a family and a house, full of 5 ruckus kids, and you guys are having a good time, and you're playing dad, and but they made it too hard. They made it too hard. It's not worth it. So we're doing the next best thing we can, and we're enjoying our life the best that we can, and that's what MGTOW is all about. Let's see. I've been on magic mushrooms all week. Okay. I guess I'm slightly. I guess I'm a little liberal on drug use. Well, it really is a case by case basis. Like with marijuana, I'm pretty liberal with it. I think it should be legalized, just totally legalized. Um, I smoke pot. I smoked pot in college. I have no problem with that. Mostly pot and beer. That's really it. But the harder stuff, I don't know. I would advise against it, especially you know meth, coke, heroin. Heroin is the worst. Well, I can't even say that. I don't even know, but I just you know I don't know, man. Just be careful with drugs. Just be careful. That's all I gotta say. Just be careful. I'm not trying to shame you or nothing. Just be careful. And then yeah, magic mushrooms. I mean, yeah, I guess I am pretty accepting of that. From the research I've done, magic mushrooms are, I believe, oh, what is it called? The scientific name for mushrooms is called psilocybin, psilocybin cubensis. Yeah, psilocybin cubensis. That's like the scientific term for mushrooms. And yeah, they're pretty interesting. Although I hear they're not as strong as like chemical psychedelics like acid. And I definitely would not recommend that you use that. Do not use acid. I hear it kind of fries, it can fry your mind, it can fry your brain, permanently change your brain chemistry. Be careful. But yeah, I'm a little bit more accepting of magic mushrooms. Just be careful. All right, one fast act. Very, very interesting, brother path. One fast act. Rock on, brother Mig, brother Doghouse. Okay. One fast stack writes, sad about Hammer's channel. I was listening to Chronic's live stream with Hammer when they nuked his channel. Yes, that totally sucks. That totally sucks. I heard about that. Apparently Hammerhand's channel has been axed again. I'm sure he'll be back. But it's just more of the same. Like they. I don't know how many. God, you know. Just, he gets up to over 12, 15, 20,000 and they cut him. And then he gets on again, he gets up to 20, 30,000 and they cut him. It's this is something I've noticed about MGTOW. This is something I've noticed about red pill knowledge in general. There's, you know, I remember listening to a video by Kingy Mgtow. Shout out to Kingy Mgtow. In one of his videos, he laid it down. He laid it down in Chinatown. He was talking about how he was in the military. I think he was a Marine. He was talking about a military concept called containment, and he was saying that that is essentially what the powers that be are doing with Mgtow and Mgtow men. It's all about containment. If you're preaching a message that other people don't like, what they're going to do is they're going to do one of two things. They could do a third thing, but they typically do one of two. Number one is they contain you. They make sure you don't get too big, and that's what that's what they're doing. That's what happens with Hammerhand. You know, before he gets too big, they cut him off at the knees. You know, and he has to start all over again. And then if you get too big, they just censor you. They just attempt to take away your platform. They just try to shut you up. Like literally, let's say, you know, Hammerhand actually became too big, and he had like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands, millions of followers. You know, it is feasible that, you know, they would come and, you know, kill him or something like that. You know, it's happened before where leaders, people trying to, you know, affect political change, if they actually become too important, if they become too influential, they'll try a number of things. They'll try to honeypot you, you know, they'll try to, you know, plant drugs on you, they'll try to kill you, whatever, you know. But yeah, one thing they do is it's containment. You know, they want to keep us in a little jar. They don't want us getting too big, you know. So, but yeah, they nuked this channel. That sucks. All right, Mgtow Flight writes, Mgtow for life. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man, Mgtow for life. I mean, if they change some of the laws and they man-fair these laws, I would consider getting married. But you know, I don't know until you know. I said it before. I'll say it again. Until some very serious changes occur within our law, until we man-fair the courts, until we man-fair family court, I would never get married. I mean, I'll just come out and say it, like, you know, I demand to have some level of power within my marriage. If I want to put my foot down and tell my wife to do something, she got to do it. But they don't like it that way. They want the man to be the slave, and they make it so the woman can do that. The woman can tell a man what to do, and if the man doesn't do it, she pulls the pin on the divorce grenade, and you're going to be the one paying. You're going to be the one going to jail. You're going to be the one paying child support. You're going to end up hungry and homeless on the streets. You're going to end up, you know, having to rent a shitty condo, a crappy, you know, studio apartment, you know, down by the river on the fringes of town, while she's living it up in the house that you bought. You don't want to be that, right? You don't see. We Mgtow, we get the score, dude. It's terrible. Jay Savage writes, "Good to hear you back." Whiskey says the French word for horse is cheval. Yeah, cheval. In Spanish, it's caballo. Yeah, I see it. Hence, a chevalier was one who rode a horse. Military, aristocrat, lords, knights. Yeah, I dig it. I buy it. Howdy Flight, says Whiskey. These live streams are great. This is truly all the company men need. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you. See, I see what I'm doing right now is, in a way, essentially what I'm doing is I'm giving back. I'm giving back to the community. That's how I don't charge any money. You know, you don't have to send me any gifts. You know, I'm not asking for people to do free labor for me. This is me giving back to the community. And it's like, you know, how many times have I listened to videos or live streams from other content creators, you know, and these people are, you know, they're making their own live streams, they're putting together their own content, and they're doing the same thing. They're doing it from the out of the from their heart, you know, out of their how can I put it? They're doing it out of a passion, you know. And I've definitely gained a lot of knowledge and a lot of entertainment value from listening to Mgtow content. And so we're all on our individual journeys, and I'm finally at the point developmentally where I say to myself, you know what, it's time to give back. It's time to start making some videos, and it's time to start making some live streams, and it's fun. It's fun. You start to see yourself more as like as a content creator and a leader instead of just a follower, or as I can't remember, someone in one of my other streams said a ninja. A ninja is like someone who, like, they come, they're not necessarily subscribed, but they come, they lurk, they're lurking in your comment stream, they're lurking, they watch your videos, but yeah. Anyway, so I don't know, it's just giving, it's giving back, and I like it. I like the attention. I admit it. I like the attention. I like, yes, I like the attention. At the same time, I don't show my face. I want you to know that I'm out there, but I don't want just anyone within the YouTube community to be able to recognize me. So, it's like, I don't want to be famous, but I want to be, I don't know. It's weird. I want to be famous, but I don't want to be famous. I don't. Oh, I want to make a difference in men's lives. That's what I want. I want to create an environment. I want to create a social landscape that is more in line with my values. And that basically is helping other men, because I want men to be strong in society. I don't want men to be weak. Moving on. Whiskey's Path. Thanks for the info. I had not heard that. One fast act. It happened last night, brother. Path. Very, very sad day. Yes, okay. Whiskey's Path. That's what they did to Bill Cooper. Killed him on his own front lawn. Rip Milton William Cooper. Yes, I am familiar with William. I didn't. William? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Bill. Yeah, William. Yeah. I didn't know his first name was Milton. I just knew him as Bill Cooper. And he wrote a book. I'd recommend anyone read it. I never read the book, but I did listen via audiobook to the first like 2 or 3 chapters. And no. I think I can't remember if I listened to the whole thing, but yes, I've listened to at least like the first like 3 chapters from audiobook, and it is it's good stuff. I think his book is called A Pale Horse. Behold, a Pale Horse by William Cooper, and he lays it down. That is one of the scariest books you'll ever read. It will leave you with chills down your spine. In fact, just to take a moment and talk about that book, to talk about it, actually in a way was a red pill moment or a Mgtow moment. I read that book, or I'm sorry, I listened to the audio book, and I remember while listening to the audio, I remember thinking about it. It sort of opened my eyes about how a society is formatted, and it was I remember a certain part that was talking about how other men, even your own father, will actually sacrifice you for essentially for nothing. So you could look into the book. The book is totally awesome. It basically talks about how the world is truly run, and how the evil in the world works. And it's very, very anti-government. And I have found it to be spot on. Most government agents are not on your side. The police, they're not really on your side. Police will frame you. Police will screw you over. I mean, you got to understand, like, in a way, police, they see themselves as above you. And if they fuck up, they will actually frame you to cover up their fuck ups. I know, trust me. But yeah, William Cooper, I can't remember. I'm sorry. I vaguely remember. I think the name of his book was. I think if I remember correctly, the name of his book is called I Beheld a Pale Horse, or Behold a Pale Horse. And I remember in the book, I remember it talking about, like, our society is formatted a certain way, and to a large extent, young men, young dumb men, are totally taken advantage of. Even your own father will send you will your own father. I remember the example he gave was, he was talking about how fathers will knowingly send their sons off to die in war, and the father is smart enough to know, you know there's a chance that he's going to sacrifice his son in war. And for what? To stop an enemy that's going to come and destroy civilization? No, no, no. You're being sent to war so that, essentially, for a mega corporation, you're going to be sent to war to invade another country, to militarily occupy them, so that our corporations can go in there and exploit their. Well, take for example what's happened recently in with the Taliban in Afghanistan. For the last 21 years, the United States military was in there holding down a military occupation so that our corporations could go in there and we could get the rights to their vast mineral deposits. Afghanistan has vast mineral wealth, and we were going in there and we were extracting that. And of course, the Taliban are very, very against the cultivation of poppy, or that is to say, heroin. Of In Spanish, it's called la alma pola, the poppy plant, the poppy seed plant. Basically, the plant that you get heroin from. And when the Taliban, when they run the country, production of heroin drops by like 90%. They'll kill you if they they're highly religious. They follow Sharia Muslim law. If they catch you growing heroin, they'll kill you. They'll cut your hands off. No joke. But when we were running the place, we were essentially allowing, the various warlords and such, the growers, to grow. In fact, some people believe, if you guys are conspiratorial, that maybe the United States government, the CIA, whoever, we do it on purpose so that we can have a nice steady supply of heroin, flowing onto American streets, so that we can get suburban girls hooked on drugs. All right, moving on. Yeah, William Cooper, he's the shit. Look him up. Terminator. I knew men that was shot because of a woman. Yeah, bro. What's his name? Tupac Shakur. He put it best. He says, I'm not gonna say the N word. So instead of the N word, I'll say a hit up. He says, bitches get horny and hitters die. Bitches get horny, hitters die. And he said that at what, 23 years old? He got it. He was red pilled very, very young. In fact, he's kind of an example of what I was talking about earlier. They will contain you. If you start talking about stuff that they don't like, they will contain you. But if you become too big, in the case of Tupac, he became world famous. When you become that big and you're talking about the stuff we talk about, they'll just kill you. Shoot them a couple times, problem solved. But yeah, right. If you ever see a woman in any sort of physical altercation with a man, if you see a man beating the shit out of a woman, I recommend you do not help her. Do not help her. You're actually more likely to get your ass kicked. And even though she's getting her ass kicked by the guy, if you step in, there's actually a good chance that she's going to side with that guy against you, and they're going to kick the shit out of you. Because just trust me, man. These lovers' quarrels, man. Don't even get involved, man. It's trouble. It's got trouble all over. It's got trouble written all over it. Moving on. I was shot by a woman once, a 22 in the shoulder. great. She was mad because I wouldn't take her fishing. Wow. I don't know what to say to that. Definitely avoid trying to get shot. Yes. Yes. Okay. So I took her fishing a few months later and she went missing. No clue what happened, I swear. Okay. Okay. All right. Whiskey says, I agree, cowboy. I think the same way. Paying back for all the great Mgtow content, paying it forward, sharing advice and experiences. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I don't do this for money. I don't do this for money, but I do this for, in a way, a selfish reason. I want more men to learn this, especially young men, especially men under 40. Guys can be slow learners. If we can get them in their 20s, oh, that's the best. Oh man, that is absolutely the best. I look at my analytics and my channel. At this point, I've had, I don't know, thousands and thousands and thousands of views. But it's unfortunate when I look at my analytics. The biggest demographics are basically the two in the middle, like guys. I think from 34 to 45, and then 45 to 54, something like that. But what I'd love to get is more men who are really young, men who are in their late teens, and men in their 20s. But they're hard. That is a hard demographic. That's because these men, they're just coming out of high school, and the brainwashing, the social conditioning, whatever you want to call it, is really strong. And it usually takes a couple years and a couple of bad experiences for these men to wise up. And that's why, part of my goal is to put out Mgtow content to disseminate this information so that there's a counter narrative, and that, some young guy, who's frustrated with a recent breakup or whatever, he can look up, man, why are women so difficult? And then he'll just accidentally, almost coincidentally, almost just come upon a Mgtow stream or a Mgtow content or a thread or something. Boom. He starts reading. Then he becomes a little bit more curious. He says, wow, you know what? This is what I went through. This is, this makes sense to me. Well, I'm going to read a little bit more about this. Well, you know what? Now I'm going to watch a video. And the next thing you know, we've got another convert. And that's sort of why I do this. I openly admit I want to create a counter narrative to what the governments and the corporations and women, the narrative that they put out. I want to put out a counter narrative that challenges what these feminists put out. Moving on, Terminator, good one fast act. Okay. Whiskey's Path. Behold a pale horse. Yeah, that's what it is. Behold a pale horse. Right. Yeah, good book. Good book. Very, very scary. Very scary. I mean, it paints the picture of, like, the government is watching us. The government will kill us. In many ways, the government is way more powerful than we like to think, and they're ruthless. Towards the very top, he basically says that the number one enemy is increasingly is big government. And I guess he knew a thing or two about that because, yeah, federal agents showed up at his house and shot him dead. One fast act, swimming with the fishes. Okay. LOL, one fast act. One fast whiskey. Okay, whiskey. One fast act, slipped on a rock, I think, Brother Cruz. Okay. Whiskey Path. Howdy, Will. Will Cruz, one fast act. Will Cruz at Whiskey. Howdy, sir. Okay. Whiskey's Path. Bill Cooper's radio show was the best. I missed those. I had no idea he had a radio show. No idea. Okay, that's amazing. Okay. Apparently Bill Cooper also had a radio show. One fast act. I heard and I saw in the midst of the four beasts. Yep. Behold a pale horse. And yep, that's right. That's right. That's where I think he got the name for the book, is I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that's from the book of Revelation or Revelations. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's from Revelations, but I can't remember what chapter, what verse. But yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Behold, a pale horse, and the name that sat upon him was Death. Yeah, scary stuff. Scary stuff. And hell followed with him. Yeah, right. That's the Bible. I went to a Catholic grammar school, and then I went to a Jesuit Catholic high school, and then I went to a Jesuit Catholic university. So yeah, no, I read a little bit of Bible. Bill Cooper's show, Hot, Hour of the Time. Okay. Okay. Because D'Amato, Mike Tyson's trainer and mentor, had a brother who was shot and killed because his woman was seeing a police officer. The officer shot him. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, guys. Women, man, women, yes, women will get you shot. Women will get you in trouble with the law. Women, oh man, see, we know this, we know. I'm preaching to the choir, women can destroy you. Women can get you shot up. They can get your house taken away from you. You can get, you could become imprisoned. You can lose your freedom. Women can destroy your life. It's crazy, but it's true. All right. Bill Cooper was legit. Yeah, he was legit, man. He was definitely legit. Whiskey's Path. My brother intervened in a domestic in a mall parking lot about 10 years ago. Some dude roughing up his chick. They both ended up turning on him. Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's something just like that. It's something just like that. And that's not the first time that's happened. Where you got some good Samaritan, Johnny come lately, and there's some guy and his old some guy and his old woman, and they're getting into it, and then he thinks he's going to be a white knight. Next thing you know, the guy pulls a pistol and shoots the white knight. Or it doesn't have to be a gun, but they'll both turn on him, and in his mind he's just trying to help the girl. But the problem is that the men in our society have become so pussy whipped. The men in our society have become so brainwashed that they think that they should go around helping women. But they don't know, because they're not Mgtow yet, that these women are not to be helped. They're not worth helping. And that actually these women, as they say, they don't want to be saved. And, they'll turn on you, man. It's so cruel. It's so cruel if you think about it. We teach the young men to be good just so we can take advantage of them. That's kind of how I see it. Oh, moving on. Will Cruz. Another guy to check out is comedian Bill Hicks. I've heard of Bill Hicks. I've heard of him. I've heard a conspiracy theory that Bill Hicks is actually Alex Jones. I have not looked into Bill Hicks, but yeah, I've heard of him. Okay, Bill Hicks rocks. Yes, Hicks was truly prophetic. Okay. The Doghouse. How did you discover Mgtow? So is George Carlin. It's just a ride. Oh yeah, is that Bill Hicks? Yeah, it's just a ride. He's talking about life. He's talking about life, right? It's just a ride. All of it's just a ride. You get, yeah, I guess, what I have listened to a little bit of him. Yeah, Bill Hicks. It's all just a ride. He's talking about life. Yeah, I remember. I think that's him. Anyway, yeah, if any of you want to call in, please call in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Otherwise, I'm going to end the stream. Yeah, let's see. I'll take that question. How did you discover Mgtow? I'm assuming, I'll assume that he's saying that to me. So the Doghouse is asking, how did I discover Mgtow? So my last semester in university was in 2012. It was the spring semester of 2012. Can't believe that's almost 10 years ago now. Damn, I'm getting old. Damn. And I had to, for my very last semester, I had to take an English 2 class. I had totally avoided it because there was a paper. There was an investigation paper, or a research paper that you had to do. And whatever, it had to be like at least 10 pages, at least 5 sources, and all this shit. I just avoided it like the plague. Anyway, finally I took it, and I still remember to this day it was basically a Mgtow topic. The topic of my research paper was the title was called "The Coming Boy Crisis." The Coming Boy Crisis. So even then, well, first let me say what the paper was about. It was titled "The Coming Boy Crisis," and it talked about how men are falling behind in society. Men, and especially young men, are falling behind in society. Women now make up the majority of law students. Women now make up the majority of medical students. Women now make up the majority of master's degrees. 3 out of every 4 PhD candidates are now women. Men are falling behind. The grades are getting worse. Fewer and fewer of them are graduating, of the ones that actually start university. And I just talked all about it. And my basic thesis was that the reason why men are not doing as well is because we're attacking them. We're creating a society that attacks them at every turn, and at the same time, we're making everything easier for women. So we're feminizing everything, and we're giving men, we're screwing over men. We're telling them we're implicitly and explicitly that they're not welcome, and so they're getting the message, and they're increasingly staying away or veering. They're avoiding higher education. And of the ones that still go to university, they find a hostile environment. The women don't like them. The teachers are all, Marxist feminists, treat them like shit. And they're just not made to feel welcome, frankly. And this ends up affecting them. And I just spoke all about it. I didn't know at the time I was basically a proto-Mgtow. But looking back, I was already a Mgtow. But but I did not consider myself a Mgtow at that point in time because I had never heard of Mgtow. And that was in 2012. And then I graduated in 2012. Maybe 2 years later, 3 years later, I heard about Mgtow. So this is like 2014, maybe 2015. I discovered what we call Mgtow. And it just resonated with me. It struck a chord. It struck a chord right away. I started listening to my very first guys were like Tom Likas, Barbarossa, Chapin's Inferno. Let's see, Stardusk or Spetsnaz. I think those are the same. Those are the same people. Devlin the comic. There's a number of them. And Razorblade Candy. There were so many. I mean, it's sad to say, but Paul Proteus. Some of them have come and gone. Liberation Y. I believe Liberation Y passed away, and so did Paul Proteus. But yeah. I mean, I guess I was Mgtow, 10 years ago, but I just discovered it like 6 years ago or 7 years ago. And then, I was drawn to it. I found it to be very, very revealing, very true. And so now I consider myself a hardcore Mgtow. So was George Carlin. It's just a ride path for sure. George Carlin was epic. Jay Leno a few years ago tried to help a female getting beat, and the woman turned on him along with the man. Yes, I remember hearing about that. I thought I remember hearing about that. One fast act. I discovered Mgtow after I did time on a false accusation in 2010. Yes. It's very serious. Very serious. I unfortunately, I ended up having a run-in with the police as well. I couldn't believe it. I consider myself a very law-abiding person. I got into a domestic violence beef with my stepmother, and she called the police, and I was arrested. And I had to hire a lawyer and everything. I spent like 16 hours in the county jail. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I'm like a Boy Scout. I think the worst thing that's ever happened to me, I didn't even get my first speeding ticket till I was like 32. You know what I mean? Like I just, It's just amazing. It's just amazing. I am not a criminal. I consider myself a pillar of the community. But when it comes to women, it's gotten to the point basically you can't even disagree with them. Just getting into a verbal altercation with them is dangerous, because for any reason they could just call the police. You will go to jail. You will go to jail. This is what I try. I absolutely try to explain to men. All right, the Doghouse writes, I found Mgtow through philosophy, reading Schopenhauer. Yes, Arthur Schopenhauer, Camus. I haven't heard of him. Nietzsche, Voltaire. Funny enough, most of the famous philosophers are Mgtow too. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. That's a fascinating topic. All in itself. All in itself. As I have found, all the best philosophers are actually. Well, I can't even put it better than the Doghouse puts it perfectly. Funny enough, I'm just going to read what he said. The very last line, the very last clause. The Doghouse writes, funny enough, most of the famous philosophers are Mgtow too. Yes, I have come to notice that. And not just the guys that you said. A lot of there's many others. The Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, he was hardcore Mgtow. He specifically wrote. I mean, he when people write stuff, it's really hard to try to revision what they're saying, to engage in revisionism. He explicitly said men are superior to women. He said in his writings, men are closer to the Godhead. Men can actually experience something. In his religion, it's called nirvana. Nirvana is like this mental state of pure clarity. And he claimed that men can reach this state, but he explicitly wrote women can never reach it. It's just not in them. It's sad. It's sad, but it's true. It's just not in them. And, I find that, I didn't know that. They never taught me that in high school, but apparently it's true. And, for example, if you take a country like, I'm sorry, not the Philippines, Thailand, like in the country of Thailand, did you guys know that in Thailand, there are over 2 million Buddhist monks? 2 million. There's Buddhist monks all over the world, but a couple of countries have like the highest concentration of them. And I believe Thailand has the highest concentration of them. There are laws stipulating that women, it is illegal. It is illegal for women to touch a Buddhist monk. Did you guys know that? If, let's say, a Buddhist monk goes to a restaurant and he sits down and eats food, the woman, the waitress, if the waitress is a woman, if the wait staff is a woman, so it's a waitress, the waitress cannot come and hand him the food, the plate. She must take the plate of food and put it on a table adjacent to him. She can't even present it to him. And again, it's illegal for a woman to actually touch a Buddhist monk in Thailand. And the reason being is because the Buddhists believe that women are inherently unclean. And I never knew that. That's knowledge that I had to go get and find myself. So, even the Buddhists are essentially Mgtow. They, just listen to what they say about women. They specifically say women are of a lower order than men. It's right in their writings. And then, you got like a Confucius. Confucius is, Confucianism isn't really a religion, although some people have called it that. It's more like, it's actually very similar to Mgtow. It's more like a lifestyle. It's a worldview. And, Confucius, he said the same thing about women. He said, he's got a good quote. He's got a number of good quotes about women. The one that I can remember offhand is, what is it? you can either you can either love women or you can understand women, but you can't do both. That's a famous quote from Confucius. And again, it's the same thing. I mean, oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. There's a wealth of knowledge out there, but you don't learn any of this in the universities. They don't want you reading Schopenhauer in high school or in university because it's going to give men an alternate a different point of view, and they don't want men having that. And I'll finish the philosopher idea with this. I was recently looking up another philosopher. I highly recommend you guys look him up. There's another philosopher I recommend you guys looking up. His name is Otto, Otto, Otto. It's German, or he's Jewish. He's German Jew. Otto, Otto. I don't know how you say his name. Otto Weiniger. Otto Weiniger. Otto Weiniger. Die Kinder spielen eine weniger geschichtliche Rolle. Also, möchten Sie mit uns an der Uni gehen, Joseph? Yeah, Otto Weiniger. That was his name. Otto Weiniger was a Jewish German, Austrian. He was a Jewish Austrian philosopher from Vienna, and he ended up killing himself, I think, at the age of 23, which is sad because he would have come out with a lot of good work. But even before he died, he came out with a lot of good work. Can't remember the title of some of his works, but you could look him up. And man, I mean, he has nothing but scathing reviews of all these women. Like, I remember listening to, I think it was Traversable Mgtow. You guys may have heard of Traversable Mgtow. He did a short review of some of Otto Weiniger. I'm just going to call him Otto Weiniger. He did a short review of Otto Weiniger's work, and I'm listening to Traversable Mgtow talk about Otto, and Otto is saying all these things. I remember one of the things he said is, and I've thought of this before, and I think there may be something to this. Otto Weiniger basically said all criminal behavior stems from women. Think about it. Think about most crime. Most crime, at least most visible crime, is committed by men. But why are the men committing these crimes? Why does one country invade another country? Why does a man go grab a gun and rob a liquor store? Why does a white-collar criminal, engage in, fraudulent activity and steal millions of dollars from a bank or from the shareholders? Well, Otto Weiniger, he posits the idea that the reason why men do this is because they want women. They want women to want them. They want to attract women, and women want resources. So because women want resources, men need to go get resources. If you're a poor country with millions of poor men, and the women are screaming down your back, when are you gonna make more money? When are you gonna get a bigger house? Well, it's hard to do that because you're living in this poor country. Well, you can just get your men together and arm them and just go invade the next country. And then you could steal all their resources, and that will at least temporarily make the women happy with you because you have all these new resources now, and now the women will fuck you, and then you're just like, all right, now I've arrived. Why do men want to become financially successful? So that women will like them. Otto Weiniger, I was listening word for word, and like I was listening word for word what Traversable Mgtow was talking about. And, I'm sorry, but I kind of find it to be true. In many ways, we absolutely let women off the hook. But the real truth is, women, oh man, no, man. The real truth is we blame men more than we shit on men more than we should. And and we give women a free pass more than we should. The real truth is it's a lot more balanced. That's what I think. It's a lot more balanced. I think men men are driven to do a lot of crimes because they want to impress women. They want a woman to want them, you know? But again, too bad. Too bad that they do that. If we could just teach them Mgtow, then they'd become like us and they say, screw these women. So anyway, yeah, look him up. Weiniger, Otto Weiniger. He apparently he auto deleted. He kicked the bucket by pistol, self-inflicted, at the age of 23. So I guess he was a tormented soul, but he was a genius. Look him up. Otto Weiniger, or Otto Weiniger. All right, Terminator. Moving on. Terminator says messing with women will gain you a criminal record. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Trust me. The Whiskey's Path. I chose Mgtow after a friend with benefits told me she was preggo. Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh yeah. Trap. I made a paternity test appointment. She miscarried 2 weeks before the test. Wow. Yes. Yeah, bro. These women, bro, I'm telling you, these women are shady, man. Look, I'll just come out and say it. I don't care what anyone thinks. I mean, at this point, I just don't care anymore. And I say this loud and proud to anyone that will listen. Women will lie. They will cheat. They will scheme. They will scam. They will plot. Women will literally lie and commit crimes to get what they want. And they'll destroy the lives of innocent men. They'll do it. I've seen it. And they have no qualms about it. It doesn't bother them at all. They actually fancy themselves to be very clever and smart when they do it. And I don't know what to say to that. It's criminal behavior out in the open. So in a way, I see myself as like a crime fighter trying to teach these men. All right, moving on. Transylvania Mgtow. Mgtow Cowboy, hi Mgtow Cowboy. What's up, Transylvanian? It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. All right, one fast stack. Holy smokes, that's harsh, brother. Okay, Will Cruz. I discovered Mgtow after my divorce. Yes, I would say Mgtow. I sort of was red pilled or Mgtow partially because of my father. My father was divorced, and he lost everything. He owned 3 properties when he got divorced. After divorce, he owned 0 properties. My mom got everything. She got the house, and she got 2 multi-unit investment properties in some pretty hot neighborhoods here in Chicago. Now, adjusted for inflation and 30 plus years of rentals, we're talking about millions of dollars. My father basically lost at least $1.5 to $2 million. And yeah, no, probably closer to $2 million because the actual divorce itself. I mean, he had to pay lawyers' fees. He had to pay her lawyers' fees. I know for a fact it costs over $100,000 in lawyers' fees for both sides. He had to pay both sides. I mean, the whole thing is a scam. Yes, you're right. Yeah, one of the best ways to become Mgtow is after divorce. But I want to help men. I want to reach men before they get to that point. Because once they get into that trap and they get married, it's a nightmare scenario for them. And we Mgtow, we want to help them. We want to help them avoid that. One fast stack. Did she do you dirty, Brother Cruz? Of course she did him dirty. She gave him the dirty Sanchez. All right, Will Cruz. Not as bad as others, but bad enough to wake me up. There you go. Good. Yeah, right. Yeah, wake up. Yeah, man. All your brothers, your uncles, your friends, your neighbors, anyone who will listen. And of course, do it in a safe way. Don't tell people who you can't trust. Make sure you can properly vet them. You know that you can tell them, and that they won't report you to HR or something. Yeah, basically, don't do it at work. But yeah, you can do it in your private life. Whiskey's Path. Thanks. Not the worst thing that happened to me. That was all a lie. The worst was my ex-wife trying to have me killed. Okay, that's on another level. Someone trying to have you killed. Okay, yeah, bro. I mean, Yeah, it's happened more than once, right? The man starts feeling sick. Oh man, what was that? Oh, I'm getting sicker and sicker. Next thing you know, he gets tested and they find, he's suffering from arsenic poisoning. It's like, oh, arsenic poisoning? How'd that happen? Well, the damn bitch has been putting arsenic in your beef stew for the last, 6 months. Yeah, women will poison you. Women will kill you. Women will kill you. And yeah, man, just telling you, these women are out of control. All right, Will Cruz. I liken my experience to Shawshank Redemption. Good movie. Good movie. Man, Will, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My father was divorced as well. My father was completely crushed in his divorce, and he never really was the same. Honestly, he became bitter. I don't want to say bitter. He became jaded. No, 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 no. No. He became bitter. He became bitter. He became bitter, and that sucks. That sucks. Man, that sucks. And my mom is so fucking stupid. She ended up losing. She stole all of my father's property, and then she proceeded to lose it all. I don't know how. Don't ask me how. Of course, I've asked, but she won't tell me. But I think she started. I think she was fucking. I think she was screwing her lawyer, and I don't know. Somehow the lawyer took it away from her. She lost everything. Ludovicius Ludovicus Monachus. Do you think Otto from Rocket Powers was a political reference? There are some King Ottos also. Yeah, I don't know. You got Otto. You have Otto von Bismarck. That's the only famous Otto I know. I think he was what was he? The Chancellor of Germany. All right, moving on. Holy crap, brother Path. Wow. Whiskey's Path. The ex-wife was serious AF. Yes, yes, yes. When they're trying to kill you, that's pretty serious. Whiskey's Path. Will Cruz. Glad you dodged that bullet, brother. Yeah, I'm glad you dodged it too, man. Jeez, brother. Jeez Louise. Whiskey's Path. Thanks, brother. I changed my number and moved a few times and eventually got some good dirt on her. I blackmailed her to call off the dogs. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. Whiskey, man. Yeah, good for you. Good for you, bro. Whiskey's Path. But that was a long time ago. Early 90s. I was 25. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. These bitches are so out of control. I can't even begin to tell you. The doghouse. Did you see that pic of the guy who got his face burned by his wife with acid over an argument? No, I did not see that. Sounds like another acid attack, so I'm assuming that was over in Britain. I don't know. Whiskey's Path writes, Traversible's wife tried to poison him with antifreeze in his iced tea. Her and his own brother? Wow. No, I didn't know that about Traversible. Damn, dude. They were having an affair. Oh, yeah, I know he had mentioned that. Yeah, I think he had mentioned that. Yeah, his own brother. Yeah. Wow. Oh, yeah. No. Wait. They were having an affair, trying to bump him off for the insurance money and his military pension. Is that Traversible or is that Traversible's friend? I think that's Traversible's friend, the guy he always has on. He's a Jewish guy, and I've listened to some of their work. Yeah, no, wasn't it Traversible's friend? His friend was murdered for the insurance money or something. Yeah, right. I remember something like that, but I didn't think it was Traversible. I thought it was Traversible's friend's friend who was murdered because someone found out that he had like an insurance policy and all this money, and so they offed him. They offed the guy just for the money, and it was like one of his supposed friends. Yes, I thought I remember that. Yes, I thought I remember that. I can't remember. Okay, I'll have to clear that up later. I'll ask him. Will Cruz writes, Whiskey's Path. Wow, I did not know that. Luviticus monarchus. So true. These women that become senile will kill. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Ludovicus Ludovicus. Manakis, they are truly deranged. Whiskey's Path, nope, that happened to Trav. Okay, so it was traversable. Okay. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean, my God, I just, and they don't teach us any of this. They don't teach us, like, you know, I'm telling you, it's just like Bill Cooper said. They throw us to the wolves. Like your own father, he knows some of this, and he purposely won't tell his own son the dangers that can befall him. The perils that can befall him just from messing with these women, because that's what my father did. My father did that to me. He fucking threw me to the wolves. But the problem is, I was too smart. I was too swift on my toes. I was too swift on my toes to get caught up with these hoes. See, I saw like just it was all women. It was all women in my family. Besides my dad. It was all women. So it was me and my dad and I, and besides that, it was all women. It was got my mom, my stepmom, not one, not two, three sisters. Throw in some Mexican aunts, and it's just one big estrogen filled cat fight. And I was lucky enough, to see women in action, and they were all very catty. They were all very backstabbing. And then, of course, couple that with my dad's divorce, and I saw, wow, man, whatever this social arrangement is that we call feminism and marriage and all this is not for me. And I was lucky enough to avoid it. So, and it is sad. Like I said, I wish I could have a kid. I wish I could have a marriage, but I may be able to have a kid later in life. But I don't see any marriage anytime soon. So sad but true. Well, good night, my Mgtow brothers. Stay strong as well. Yeah, Fast Stack. Good to see you, man. Good to see you turn out. Terminator, happy wife means sad husband. Yes. Whiskey's Path, take care. One Fast Stack. Yeah, take care. Ludovicus, aging mother will gaslight and brainwash a father into insanity and will block adult children from loving father. Yes. This is age old. You got it, man. And I had no idea. That's basically what my stepmom is doing right now to me and my dad. She takes every opportunity to socially isolate me, even though she was the one who was caught cheating on my father. My stepmother was caught cheating on my father, and yet she turns it around and tries to make me the bad guy. But you know what, though? It's worth mentioning. My father is not innocent in all this. My father, he went along with all this. My father, he knows that his wife cheated on him, and he stays with her. So I hold him, I hold him responsible as well. Whiskey's Path, good chatting with you, bro. Eric Zombro, howdy y'all. What's up, Eric? The doghouse. My dad keeps silent as well. Men are made to be Sims. Yeah, let me get a little drink here. I've been talking now for 2 minutes, almost 2.5 hours straight. Oh, let me grab some Crystal Light, bro. All right. My dad keeps silent as well. Men are made to be simps by wives, sisters, mothers, and society in general. It takes a real honcho to live life as he pleases. Yes, I have found this to be true. My dad also keeps silent. My dad knows. My father knows, but he's just a pussy. He's pussy whipped. And I mean, he was also divorced. My father has been divorced. My father understands. If he doesn't do what my stepmom tells him to do, there's going to be hell to pay. And he knows that. So I think he just capitulates. Whiskey's Path. Howdy, Eric. Eric Zombro, night brother. Gotta say hi to brother Zombro before I go. Zombro, Cowboy, great content. Keep it up, my friend. You're only getting better. Hey, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Although I must say, I think I need to end the. I think I think I need to end the stream right about now. You can go back and listen to it. I'm literally starting to. I feel myself starting to lose my voice. I've been talking now for 2 hours and 29 minutes. So I've been going for almost 2.5 hours straight. I did want people to call in, but no one called in, so I just went on a long tangent. So anyway, yes, I am officially now. I'm going to end the stream. And it was great. It was great having you guys all visit. And yeah, I am literally starting to lose my voice. So I will. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. Pain shots in the morning. Oh, you're going to get some cortisone shots? That sucks, Eric. I'm sorry to hear that. Let me guess, in the knees, probably in the. All right, I'm gonna end the stream. Sorry, guys. I'm literally starting to lose my voice. You guys all take care. Okay, this is the Mgtow Cowboy, and here's my outro. What's my outro? Yeah, if you like my content, please like, please comment, please subscribe, and please share. And I'll leave it right there. All right, boys, take care. And then lastly, what is it? Kojin Master? I'll watch in the gym too. All right, Kojin Master. Good to see you guys. Good night, boys. Bye now.